This is the prince. And the prince is made out of oil and aqua color crayons, as well as a bit of acrylic and crayon. My idea for this originally was the stained glass. Stained glass has always been an inspiration of mine, and you can see that I've attributed some of the bright colors and designs, and I stay very limited to this one on color. Apart from the greens, the blues, and the yellows, it was mostly darks and lights. And this one, as you can see, it's a little bit big. I don't have a lot of space in my studio right now, so I'm just recording it from here, but the idea was to celebrate a past friend of ours who had passed, and his photo just embodies this person who was an amazing person, and the colors were colors that he loved blue and he loved black. And so I've put a little bit of the sea life in there as well. You can see the fish. They're just barely there, but you can see them. I've also put some seaweed above the head. That part has to be my favorite part right there, is the seaweed. And also put the rose to symbolize love forever. And here's a little bit of the shards I was trying to do, and you can see a little bit of the crayon that I used there. And then this aqua crayon has a very translucent look to it, and that also worked for this painting. Very functional, it's very fluid, and this piece is also 5 feet by 5 feet. And this is the prince. And the outside corners are also inspired by cathedrals. When you look inside a stained glass inside a cathedral, you can see the shadows of the stone that holds the glass into the building. And that's what I was doing with these corners here, with the little design. Kind of like a little rosette. A rosette feature. So, this is the prince. This is my Prince William and Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge. And this is acrylic. And you can see the details on her and on the background. And there's the chair with the emblem. This is all out of acrylic. And there on the gold bars there are a little bit of stucco work. So you can see the details. A little bit of stucco, and I put a little bit of gold. I was trying to get the idea, the concept of, once again, being engulfed in all this gold and all these beautiful riches. And you can see the water and the sea life in the background. And I feel it represents the beauty of the royal family. This one is a rendition of a old photograph of the Queen, and the concept for this piece was to integrate my appreciation for fabric and the detail, being immersed in all this sea of fabric and details. And I didn't want to stick to strict chromatic pattern of colors, so I just used some red, and I used bits of pink, a little bit of yellow in the folds of her dress. And the idea of this piece is that all these figures are swallowed in all this beautiful rich fabric that you kind of lose them in it, and hence is the title Lost in the Fabric. I did this out of acrylic, and I used a technique that is common with oil paintings, although this is acrylic painting. I said a background, a background like a sienna background, and I just worked my lights from there. And as you can see, also I added some gold in there. I put some gold into the clothes and the background. There's the crown emblems. And that is Lost in Fabric. This is called New Orleans Float. This was an inspiration from a recent trip to New Orleans, where I viewed their collection of archived illustrations of when they used to design their floats. And it was very, very festive, and I wanted to be creative with my float. And I know that being by the bayou and the ocean, that the sea life is a focal point in New Orleans culture. So if you can recognize, this is the square, St. Jackson Square, and there is the fence. I'm gonna have a big affinity for horses, and this one I've noticed they had a lot of white, gorgeous horses. And there's the buildings in the background, and I'm going to zoom in on the mermaid so you can see the detail. So this is my painting.